Okay, hold it, hold it.
I can hear you. I was connecting to the Wi-Fi.
Okay, everything's good?
Yes.
I'm giving everyone record. You can record this if you want. I have to wait a second. Wait. Let me try this again. Did I give you a record yet, Crystal?
Not yet.
Not yet. Huh. Oh, here it is. Okay, Bradley. You can record if you want. James. I think it's got to be the other James. Just a second. Yeah, it is. Okay, you can record if you want as well, James. Simone. Huh. I don't have that option for you, Simone. Let me try it again. Yeah, I can't. I wish I don't.
It might be because I'm on my tablet this time. Last time I was, oh no. Let me see. Last time I was on my computer, so I was able to record. So maybe that's why I can't record this time.
There's no allow record under your name.
Yeah, it might just be because it's my tablet. It's okay.
Okay.
I can send it to you, Moni, if you need it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Jackie, and I just allowed you to record if you want. Oh, we just had a Zoom group chat. That was cool. Okay, so everyone can record. Anything but before you mute and we start the lessons? Okay, so if Crystal and Gino would mute up just for a minute, a little bit, and then we'll do the first lesson, which is originally for Gino and James, but everybody, I think you'll enjoy it. And I took this because we're focusing on knife stuff. Everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up. Okay, because we're focusing, thanks, Simone. Because we're focusing on knife stuff, the lesson that I'm giving to James and Gino is stolen from that, the knife whap lesson that Jackie and Brad, I think Simone have probably done, and I've shown it to you, Crystal. Anyway, so the first move, you want to do it here? Should I do it? You guys see this okay? Okay. So the first move is the opponent steps in. It's a right punch. Where is it to? I think I did the punch. Okay, so it's a right punch to the chin. And as she's punching, I'm going to step inside her. You go back. Left windmill. Boom. And now from there, it's a right hammer back to the groin. Pivot. Cut behind her ears. And crank her head back that way. It's a left knee up under the soft palate. Step through in a left horse. Come up in a right kicking stance. And it's a right knife edge stomp right at the hip joint. Oh. I know you hate this, Jackie, but it'll stop them from getting up. Could you all see us? Can you see everything we're doing? Okay.
Was that to the right or the left leg at the hip?
Pardon me?
Well, the final, I want to say wedge kick, I can't remember the term that's used for it. Was that on her right hip or left hip?
It's her right hip joint. My joint right here.
Okay. Cool.
You know, actually, to be really exact, it's just below the joint where the hip joins the thigh. This is like a little dot. If you ever look at this little dotted line there for knife edge stomps, when you're taking a shower, check it out. Okay, sorry, that was probably crossing a boundary. Okay, So again, 1, 1, 2, and I'm cupping her ears and cranking. See, I keep my elbows in, left knee up under the soft palate, and then step through. Come up to a right kicking stance. Knife edge stomp. She'll sit up, and you don't have to do anything about it. I mean, you can add whatever you want, but those moves are the lesson. Sure. So, the footwork and the windmills. So the first is left windmill, step inside the punch to a right windmill, pivot, right forearm hammer down across their right forearm. And from there, you may have to re-step, I don't know, but from there it's a right hammer back to the groin, pivot to a right horse, left windmill cups their right ear, right windmill cups their left ear, and crank their head back, and do a left knee up under the soft palate, boom, step to a kicking stance, then step through and push straight down. Then you're stepping left windmill as you pull into a right kicking stance, right windmill, it's a right knife edge stomp to the seam where the hip and the upper right thigh join. Come back and fold. Okay? So that being said, if everyone could mute except for James, and then after James counts it, if you can mute, and then Gino, okay? So we can hear you count, you guys. So James, you're first.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, if you can mute and let Gino count it.
One.
Wait, do that again, Gino.
Let me get the gallery. Okay. 1.
It's important to step inside. I keep cutting that off. Step all the way in, pivot to a left horse, and right down windmill hammer.
2.
Right hammer back to the groin.
3.
Left, right, crank the head back, knee up under the soft palate.
4.
All the way through.
5.
Any questions, Gino?
No.
Okay, James? All right, anybody? So Gino, where's that first block coming? You guys can unmute for a minute.
Say it again.
Where's that first block?
You're right there, inside windmill.
But where are you blocking? What are you blocking?
The punch
Oh,
on the.
that's true. And that's a good answer. But specifically, I was talking about targets.
Right.
So, step to a right, right? When you pivot, your forearm is coming down across their forearm behind the wrist.
Okay.
And again, a reminder, because this is exactly the kind of block that people often have a tendency to block with the bony part of the arm. and it becomes your bone hitting theirs. So this gives you a great opportunity to drop the fleshy part, the muscle part, onto the, and even though it's softer, it doesn't hit any less, with any less force. All right?
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep quizzing you, Gino. So after that, where's the next strike?
Okay. Well, you're in the left horse, and then can't remember if it's got a specific name, but straight back, bottom of the fist to the groin.
Yeah, so it's a back hammer fist to the groin. And one time when I was doing this on Tanya, I had to re-step because the block had moved her in such a way. So I re-stepped, still left horse, right hammer back to the groin. You don't even have to look. Oh, sorry, you can't see me. My bad.
Yeah, that's good.
No, that was fine right there. That was good.
Okay, so you don't even have to, once you've done this, you don't even have to look.
Okay.
And you see how it is? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So once you've done this, right? You know, you're still.
Yeah.
I know this
Which move is?
isn't it? Once you've done, oh, I gotta get back. Once you've done this, she's hammered. You pivot with what windmill?
You did say that this is after she's on the ground, right?
No, after you've blocked,
Oh, okay.
hammer to the groin.
Yeah.
What do I pivot to? Right horse. Right horse.
Right foot into the left.
Right horse.
Right horse.
Right horse.
Excellent. And what do I windmill with?
Left.
Yes.
Left.
When
Left check.
you're windmilling, literally, because she's bent over, right? So I'm windmilling and grabbing this ear.
Yeah. Cupping her ears.
And then, but can you come here? Show it. Bring your whole head over.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see this. Did you have nice ears, by the way? Really? I mean, yeah. Okay. So when you're windmilling, you come in and you cup grab the ears.
Okay.
And in this position, then you also do the right windmill and cup grab the other ear. And using those as a steering device, you crank her head back without her going down. And she's going to hit me, so I have to let this go in a second.
Okay.
You got that, Gino?
Yeah.
The reason I'm making such a thing out of it is because we're doing the windmills and it all actually flows. None of it has to hurry, but every single thing that you've done up to this point has impact on the person, causes them pain, takes their balance, and you keep their balance. Got me so far?
Yeah.
And then after you've done that, and the head is cranked back, your knee is coming up under here, straight up. Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I'll bring my head back into view. So, well, actually, I'll just do it. Okay, 1. Oh, sorry, I'm doing it again. Windmills. Boom. Boom. So see how I crank her head back? My knee is coming straight up.
Oh.
But I'm gonna crank her down more because I'm lazy. But it comes up under the chin. So that, can you sit down there for a second? So that her head is really like this, besides the damage you've done to her teeth and jaws and so forth. So that when you step through, because of that, all you have to do is just take her space and she's gonna go down. You can just let go. Make sense,
Yep.
James? And the other thing is, that last thing, what's the point of doing, Brad, why do I even bother with that fifth stomp? And don't say anything off color.
You say something black and white though.
Brad?
Don't want them coming after you. Finish them
Exactly.
off.
Exactly. You can do serious or less serious damage depending on how much power and where exactly that kick is. But if you actually catch them on the seam, you don't have to break anything. You'll tear some muscles. You may even dislocate the hip, but nothing's going to get broken. They're definitely not going to get up and come after you, even if they don't feel pain, because it won't work right. Okay, but it can get right. So of all these things, I'm going to go with James a second. Okay, Gino,
Yes.
would you,
You.
James, would you hit your iPhone?
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to do the same thing with you. Where does that first block go? What are you blocking with and what are you hitting?
So you're blocking with the soft part of your lower arm on basically their lower arm, left windmill.
Yes, left, right, down windmill block. Good. It's also really important, the way you can get hurt doing this is if you don't actually do the pivot. A lot of people do this and they get punched from the other arm. So you've got a one. Wait. But this is the thing that keeps you from getting punched. One. So even if she wanted to punch me, she's actually like this. She can maybe, but there's no power, there's no real way to hit. Plus you're so far inside, you're actually stepping into the very center. Do you hear me, James?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that being said, and where is the next strike to?
So it's right hammer to the groin.
Yes. And then I pivot to,
And then left windmill, pivot to a right horse, and then grab the ears, bend the head back, and the knee to the soft palate, and step through to a left horse, and then let's see, left windmill to a right kicking stance, and then the stomp above the hip.
that, you know that? What? Where's the cat?
Where's the cat?
She wants to join in. I mean, no, it's fun.
Okay, so each thing, I'm sure you guys have had, who likes it? I think it's Brad and either Crystal or Jackie love to do down windmill blocks. If you haven't had the experience of a good solid down windmill block on your forearm, you'll remember it. It'll stay with you for a long time.
It's Jackie.
Right.
Yeah, I figured since you didn't say anything, just sort of shook your head. And the hammer to the groin, what really makes it hurt is that you're not popping forward like we do in one part of the form, but you're actually hammering up. So, yeah, kind of Not to get too graphic, but sort of like slamming everything up in there. So that's enough. If you guys want to sit down for a second and catch your breath. Anyway, the ears. But Brad is sitting down, catching his breath. He looks like he's actually got like a talk show. He's telling stories of his childhood as a strong arm guy for the neighborhood. Anyway, the ear thing is unbelievably powerful in the sense that if you've not had your ear really grabbed, you can actually tear a person's ear off. It isn't that hard. I'll be honest with you, I've never done it. I did accidentally tear someone's ear a little bit, but it's not that hard to tear them off. But that's not what I'm suggesting that you even try to do. What I'm suggesting is that you understand that when you grab those and torque the head back, it's like driving the head down and arch back. You feel it in these, and that's why it's so easy to do that. And the rest is pretty much because they're torqued back and the spine is pushed down, stepping through. They hit the ground pretty hard. And for the most part, they actually sit down on their coccyx, you know, that tailbone. There's nothing about this lesson that has to break anything, but it hurts a lot of things. I mean, yeah. It's a punch you wish you hadn't thrown. Any questions? Okay, let's go through it again. And I would like it, James, if you would count us through it. Oh, wait a minute, we have someone else in class. Cool. Oh, I guess not. James, would you count us through the lesson?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
And then one more time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, good. We're good? What
Yeah.
about the ears? Thank you. When I said that they were like steering devices, so when I grab her ears, I can pretty much turn her head any way I want. I can step through and push straight down, or I can hold on and push up. It's that easy, and at the same time that uncomfortable that's a doctor word, uncomfortable. You'll feel some discomfort. Okay.
You know what? Do the the first 2 moves again for me, please.
I will. You want to count them?
Okay, yeah. 1,
Oh, sorry, try it again. I'm getting this myself.
1, 2. Okay. 3.
Oh,
Yeah, it's this one right here.
oh, okay. Boom. Her right ear, her left ear, crank the head back, knees straight up.
Okay, great.
Do you want to see her do it to me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Uh-huh.
That's really, really nice of you. I'm here.
No, we're good.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
He wants to see her do it to me. Okay. Ready? Will you count again, Gino?
Yes, yes. 1, 2, 3.
Three.
Yes, 3. You didn't hear me. Sorry. 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'll call the coroner.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Okay, moving on.
Black belt?
Yeah, that upper belt. Okay, so, you know me, give me a second to remember. Oh, I think it's this. Oh. Okay. So, 4 moves, and again, every one of them hurts. Actually, the last move can be very damaging. It's all about being really close, and from the very first thing you do, owning the person. In fact, the first move, I think, is right out of 10 and 11 in the form. I think it's 10 and 11. I could be wrong, but I think it is. Anyway, so one more time. You're punching up here. In fact, I'll stand here. You got to step in close. Remember, one. Okay. 2. 3. 4.
That hurts.
No, I was just saying, please.
Oh,
Okay, Crystal, count.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Right across here. And that's, all these are kind of have angles. You probably saw that. So the forearm across the larynx is actually coming down from the top, like kind of like this as opposed to that. Well, sure. It's, the footwork is just like in the form. The first part, it's pivot to a right kicking stance. It's a kind of, it's almost a non-sansu block, like a more like that kind of taekwondo or a karate. You're blocking your forearm to the back of their tricep. And then according to how you turn them, the second strike is across both kidneys, so you don't have to step just for that situation. Boom. And then drop down, windmill your left hand, palm to the forehead, and push down. Because they're arched, it'll make them arch more. And do a left front snap kick inside, not behind or in front, but to the inside of their right knee. Is that right? Yeah.
yes.
And then step real tight across the front of them in the left horse. Right down windmill, hammer across, coming down across the top of the larynx. And by the way, some of you probably know this, but you don't have to, well, let me get back here.
Yeah.
You don't have to blast that larynx. In fact, depending, you can just pop it, and that will put them out of commission. They won't be able to breathe for a little bit. They'll definitely have trouble passing air through their little tunnel there. And they'll be coughing, and if you hit a little harder, it'll temporarily collapse the larynx. But if you hit it too hard coming down, like with all the force you can, you actually tear the top of it, which is also reparable, but first you've got to find a way to keep them alive because they're not getting any air. So that being said, who's got a crystal? Simone.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Actually, you count that again, Simone, please.
Sure. 1, 2,
And this is parallel to the ground, not up or down.
3,
Up to the forehead, kick.
4,
Okay. Any questions at this point? Jackie?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Crewmeister? That's you, Brad.
Bradley,
Did he leave?
there he is.
Standing by. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh. That neck thing.
So questions?
No.
Okay. So where's the first block going, Simone?
It's going across, like it's blocking as they're throwing the punch, so it's coming towards their arm.
Yeah, it's catching them in the tricep, the back of the tricep. So you're coming like this. And you're not stepping. This is we don't do this a lot, but
Take 1 step back, Wally. Then I can see you fully. It's okay.
we don't do this a lot. But to be honest with you, I saw Jimmy Woo is he's such a funny guy. You'll see if you go look at Jimmy Woo on YouTube, you'll see lessons where he says, "No, you never snap kick. There's no power." And then 5 lessons later, he'll say, "No, you snap kick. That's the only way to have power." And he'll also say, "You always step in. You never pivot to a kicking stance." And then he'll say, "Pivot and drop your weight to a kicking stance for that block. It's really powerful." Anyway, in that particular lesson, there's a punch coming in, so he pivots and to a right kicking stance and does this block to the tricep. Be honest with you, if you do that with just a little spirit, that arm is going to be pretty useless to that person for a while. It really, really hurts. And when they're punching, no matter how relaxed they are, the reach of that punch stretches and brings tension to the muscle. So you're doing that in the tense or pumped up version of the tricep. And of course that turns people. We've seen that plenty of times. So you pump them there, block them there, they turn. So that being done, Crystal, where is that next strike?
The one after the first block,
Yes.
the kidneys.
So it's across both kidneys, right?
Mhm.
So, and that's I particularly picked that strike because you have to step, you have to move your horse to the right place for that strike. Otherwise, you're hitting one kidney and then another. But if you step your horse as parallel as possible to the way they turn, even though you think you're going to hit the spine first, you catch both kidneys at the same time. It's also, again, in most cases, that would be a real fight ender. So, Jackie, after you've done that, tell me what happens next.
Then you pull their head back
So,
and kick the
go ahead.
inside of their right knee.
So this is the upper belt part of that, what you just said. So when, let's just take it all the way here. So 1, 2. When you set this up, your palm is windmilling, and the strike is down to the forehead, down, but like arching them down. It's a hit. It's a strike. And then you kick inside the knee. So it's kind of like boom. It's a little bit of the opposite of this. And that hurts. That's really a shock to the cervical area. Not to mention that it's a really shock to the head. Sorry. That being said, students in trouble? Okay, so after that kick, what's next, Brad?
You just arched them, right?
Yeah, and you kick it,
And the left horse beside them,
Yeah.
right beside them, and hammer down across the top of the larynx with your opposite arm. Windmill hammer.
So everything, there's almost the only straight at the target strike is across both kidneys. This is actually coming up from your hip. This is coming down at an angle so that you can pop their head back. And the thing that Brad was just talking about is coming down at an angle to the throat. So starting from the top, Crystal, could you count, please?
1,
Ah.
2, 3, 4,
Oh. Right, Simone?
1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4.
Jack.
1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4.
And again, Painmeister.
Stand by. 1,
Oh.
2, 3, 4.
Okay. Any questions? And you're all recording, or else you can send recordings. I only see Gino recording. Are you guys recording? Okay.
I recorded it the first time you did it, and I probably don't need to see it 5 times, just see that one 15 times.
Yeah, but you could see me 15 times. Okay, all right, whatever. Yeah.
And
Well, I'll just do your greatest hits,
What?
pun intended.
Gotta check time. So we have, sorry to be so meticulous about time, you know me, that's never been my strong suit. But we have people coming in right at 3 and people left right at 1, so, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna do the form. We're kind of gonna break it apart a little bit. And if you have any questions, and even in the middle of the form, unmute and ask the question.
Crystal, did Wally face you, or does he face away? Remember?
Face away.
Like normal,
Okay.
okay? Oh yeah, okay. So it's this one. Yeah. Okay, 1, set position. 1.
Where is that opponent?
Pardon me?
Where is the opponent?
The
Are you
opponent
hitting
throwing
the
a
guy in front of you, or what? Or is he coming past you?
Watch. So the opponent's throwing a left punch.
Oh,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. So again, was that count?
yes.
Okay. 1. Oh, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that to the,
Okay, so about the first 2 moves, by the way, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
I just want to come and be with you guys. The first 2 moves, when this punch comes in, that's okay, leave it there. I'm actually stepping in and blocking down on the crook of the arm to keep them from going far away, and then pivoting and punching as I come up. It's not really an uppercut, it's still basically a short punch, it's just coming up. And then, so the second one is just to reverse that. The point of the matter is it's important when you do that block of their punch, like this is blocking the right punch, block down the crook of the arm so you keep them. And then as you pivot, the punch comes up. It actually is coming up right about the hinge, right behind the hinge of the jaw. Okay? So after that, I think Brad was about to ask about the kick. I could be wrong. So, so it's right to pull in, left to, oh wait, right. Yeah. Right, left, right is a front snap kick slightly across the body to the inside of their right knee. Then come back to a kicking stance. And then, did you not get a copy of this, Brad? Brad?
copy of this?
Video, or did you?
Yeah, I did. And when I watched the video, it ended up giving me lots of questions.
Okay, okay, good. So, okay, good. So, right, left, and this is not a straight on kick, but a right kick inside their right knee, come back to a kicking stance. That's 3. 4, left windmill is you step your right back to a left horse. Right windmill is you pivot to a right horse. Left windmill is you do a left, slightly crossbody kick to the inside of their left knee, and step back to a right horse. And then 5 is right windmill is you pivot and step to a right cat. left windmill as you step back through their center in a left horse. Wait.
Elbow.
It goes like this. Right, left, and then right elbow. It's coming actually up under the solar, but up under the solar plexus. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. My bad. And then 6, of course, is right, left, close. Any questions so far? I can't. Gino? Any questions, Gino?
No.
Oh, James?
No.
Okay. Okay. So, boom. So 7 is a double counterclockwise windmill. Pretty frequently used movement as you go right back, crossover. Another double is you pivot to a left horse, continue pivoting to a right. And it's a right hammer coming under their right punch to their right ribs and guarding with your left for any possible left punch coming your way. So in essence, you're going and you're coming into the punch. Right. And then so 8 would be just the reverse. And 9, where am I? 9, I think it goes this way. 9 is a double counterclockwise windmill as you pivot about 270 degrees to a right kicking stance. What's up? Okay. So, where was it? What was it? Yeah. So it's. Okay, thank you for waiting. Okay, so after 8, is that right? No, I turned. That's what it is. Yeah. It's a double counterclockwise, like I said in the beginning. You pivot about 90 degrees. 90 degrees to a right kicking stance. Another double as you step your right back, pivot to a left, open palm to the groin. Then pivot to a left as you do a right hammer across the base of their skull. Making sense? Okay, thanks, Jackie. And then 11. Oh, 11 is the thing that we were doing earlier. So 11 is yeah. As the left punch comes in, left to pull in, right block, right down windmill as you step along, side and side behind them, left hammer across both kidneys. Now, I don't know if I left this in the form or not, but in the original form I did at home, I saw that I did this. I did left hammer, left windmill as I pulled up. Oh yeah, pull up to a left block, and then step back, pivot, right hammer across the kidneys. Does that make sense? Is that what I did? Okay, thank you for waiting. Every form I stick in these two things in that I can't figure out to save my life. So after we did this, 9, 10, left windmill, right block, just like in the lesson. And then right down windmills, you step along beside them, left hammer to the groin, and then pivot, step to a right cat, right block, step back and pivot, left hammer, doesn't seem right. No, it's got,
Crystal, was something, Crystal, did we change something last week?
Not that I recall, no.
Okay, yeah, okay, no, it all.
okay, I got it. Okay, so, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So, thank you. You guys, I couldn't have done this without you. So 9, boom, 10, left, right, block, step, hammer across both kidneys. And then it's step up, left hammer, step back, pivot, right hammer across both kidneys. Well, I feel so much better now. 12, step up to a right kicking stance, double fountain. Another double fountain as you step in. The right horse. Left hand goes low, right hand goes high. If they have on a shirt or any kind of clothing, otherwise you grab their clavicles. As you pivot to a left horse, the left hand pulls in, you pivot right elbow to the back of the head. So it comes like this. Can you do this to you?
Yeah.
So it's 1, so So I'm grabbing her shirt, and as I pivot, I pull in and strike her in the back of the head with my elbow. We've actually done this before, just not for a long time.
That hammers the SKM or the jaw?
Pardon me?
Hammer to the SKM or the jaw? Or where is that going?
Sorry, you're hammering right behind the jaw under the ear and also the base of the skull. It's basically this area because the elbow is so big. But the elbow is coming as you pull in and you pivot. I guess you know that little hollow just slightly behind and below your ear? Anyone have one of those?
Yeah.
If you aim for the area Brad said, behind the SKM muscles, right behind them. Okay? Boom. So 13 is another fountain. This time it's right going in low. As you pivot to a right horse, pulling in, left elbow catching them on the other side. The thing about this lesson, it's very, very forceful. I don't mean forcing, the power is really big because everything is so tight. So when like for example, when I come here and I grab Tanya, as I'm pulling, as I'm pivoting and I'm rolling, I don't know if you can see how I got her grab, I'm using her shirt. As I'm rolling her in, I'm striking at the same time, like I'm rolling her into the elbow. This is something you may have to do to a family member or a student, Jackie. Anyway. So let's do the second half. Unless there's a question. Any questions before we go running through the second half?
No.
Okay, Gino? Okay, James? Okay, Simone? Okay, I'd ask Brad, but he'd answer me, so forget it. Okay, so just finish 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. Okay, all the way through. Well, okay, I should, well, are you shooting? Yeah. Okay, let's get through it. Okay, Okay, am I on an okay place, you guys? Okay, great. Set. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Wait. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 'Questions? Okay. You know, you count the first 6, and James, you count the second 6. Ready to keep that? Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Okay, James.
7.
7, next 7.
8. 9. 10. 11. And 12.
One more.
13.
Okay, once more through. Crystal and Simone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Okay. Sorry, Jackie and Brad, let's look at the draw. Any questions about the form? I'll have the second half next week. Okay, so give me a minute to get a drink of water and then we'll go to the knives. If you have anything before that, anything else about the lessons, about something that you want to bring up, whatever. Anyway, I'll be right back. Won't go far.
You want me to start counting?
Pardon me?
You want me to start counting?
Do I want you to start counting? You mean the form?
Yeah.
No, you and Brad don't get to count. Sorry.
Okay.
Get your knives.
Find a knife.
Crystal, with that knife you've got, you may want to find a way to learn how to open that one-handed.
Oh, that's a good, no.
Gino,
Where's Gino? Gino?
Gino, did you want to bring anything up? Gino?
He's right there.
Okay, yeah, hi. Actually, I'm thinking about it, getting ready. The stop recording. With you guys, and throughout that whole time, just as you've mentioned to me many times, where my body is just it'll just take on a life of its own, and I think about it all the time. When I even dream about it, okay, and back at the beginning, you told me that at some point we would get to like knives and guns and whatnot. And I had been thinking about that for the 3 months that were off. And then when you brought it up last week, I was like, oh yeah, let's do some of that. Let's do some of that. And then as soon as he started talking, folks, I got freaked out because I've got PTSD. And it stems from an episode when I was 5, and I thought I was going to get stabbed to death. And just the words about where to puncture, how to puncture, angles, cutting, it freaked me out. And I called him and told him about it. And we had a really great conversation, about 40 minutes. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah. And one thing that Wally shared was, hopefully you don't mind me saying this, if I get it right, that when he was a green belt, it took him a lot longer than the other belts to move through that. And that it was a matter of him moving through some stuff from his past. It was high school, I believe, right? And so just, wanted everybody, to know, not really like a FYI, but you never know what might come up when we're together or anything along that line. But also really another level of surrendering to the process.